Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Danrie from Craft of Giving, and in today's video I want to share how to make these super simple and super easy polymer clay coasters. The hardest part of this project is deciding which colors you want to use for your coasters. Well, for me it was anyway. But for this particular set of coasters, I went with this teal green and a dark gray for a marbled effect. So to start with, you will need to condition your clay by pulling it out of its packaging and just working the clay for a couple of minutes each, depending on how old your clay is. But you need your clay to be conditioned so that it doesn't crack or filled with air bubbles. In hindsight, I should have conditioned my clay that little bit more to have a bit more of a smooth finish in the end product, but it turned out pretty well. To condition your clay, you just need to work the clay, so giving it a good knead, a roll around, a massage to make sure the clay is fully supple and workable. To make my marbled effect, I used my 3 different colors, so I did add a white in there as well. Now this white is interesting where it had this little bit of a glittery dust through it, which is really cool effect in the end product, and I was really happy with it. Basically making a little knot out of, or a braid out of all the different colors you want to use, and then smooshing it all together to create the marbled effect. So I'm just pushing this all together into a ball and then started rolling out my clay on a piece of parchment paper just to help the clay not stick to my workbench, and then roll it out to your desired thickness. Now because I didn't work my clay enough, I did have a little bit of a air bubble situation going on, and it's easy enough to fix with just poking little holes into the air pockets to remove the excess air, and then just rolling out it some more to remove the pierced marks. Look how pretty the marbled effect looks in this clay. I am so happy with how this turned out. All you need to do is roll your clay to the desired thickness. Now be mindful not to go too thick or too thin, otherwise you risk your clay cracking if they put a heavy object on top of it. But I find about 5 to 6, 7, maybe even 8 mils is a sufficient thickness for a coaster. Now using a large cookie cutter, I'm just cutting my coaster out. You can use a template and cut it out if you like, if you don't have cookie cutters. And then to personalize it that little bit more, I'm just indenting their initials onto the coaster for the people who I am giving this to. Now because this is going to a couple, I thought it would be fun to add a pop of a different color into the second coaster just for a bit of interest and to make it even more unique to that person, and then went ahead and marbled that clay as well as roll it out to a similar thickness to my previous one, so they sort of matchy match. And then to do it a little bit differently, I left the cookie cutter in the clay while I pressed down my little initials into the clay just to keep the shape uniform, because I did find by pressing the little initials in, it did warp this shape a little bit. So this did help, but also be mindful that it is a little bit more difficult to line it up and it may come out a little bit crooked. Now where it did have the little indents, I just used my finger to rub the little squares away gently so that it just have the little initials left over without a little square around each letter. Then it's as simple as popping it on some baking paper and baking it according to your polymer clay's instructions until the clay is fully cured. And you can certainly stop there if you would like, because the clay is fully cured, it's non-toxic and water resistant. However, I wanted a nice shiny coaster, so once my clay has fully baked in my little handy dandy oven, I did go ahead and apply a gloss clay varnish. But you do have to let the varnish set and dry before you try and apply another layer or flip it over to do the back side. Once fully varnished and fully dried, this is what it looked like, and I'm super happy with how it turned out, and I think this will make a perfect little personalized gift for the 2 people I'm intending to give this to, and I hope that you will make some for someone special in your life too. If you like this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below, who are you going to make a coaster for and what colors will you choose? I make videos on handmade gifts and other fun DIY projects, and I thank you so much for watching. Remember to be crafty with your giving, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!